Last few moments before tip here between Knoxville and Davis County, our first of two tonight in our Tuesday night showcase on the South Central Conference Network. Dewayne Cook back with you. We've got Knoxville's own Rylan Robinson on our main camera and also the one and only Jimmy Ott II producing for us tonight. Baycorn got the majority of the tip, but it went over to Jaylee Law. Davis County will start with possession. Here's Humphrey right on cue. What'd we say? Reese Humphrey was going to be a big focus tonight for Davis County. Came out a great game against Van Buren on Saturday after a tough night against EBF. She splashes home her first three of the night. Davis County strikes first. That is Reese's 19th three of the year, which ties her with the young lady who gave her the assist, Jaylee Law, for a team lead. And with the response, Larissa Wells on the other end hits one from the right wing. That's got to feel great for Larissa. Her 8th three of the year, came in 28% from downtown. She gets the scoring started for the Panthers. 3-all, 45 seconds in. Ella Porter gets a touch right of the lane. Finds Sophia Young baseline. Now swing out to Law at the left wing. Here's another three attempt. Laney Moore airballs it. But Sophia Young, an offensive rebound. Hook shot doesn't fall. And the rebound is tipped by Ella Porter out of bounds. Davis County will take over. Now one interesting note during that last sequence here in the half court, Davis County is the best team in the South Central Conference in offensive rebounds. They average 18 per game. Knoxville is going to have to try to keep the Mustangs from wiping the offensive glass clean. Wells has it on the other end, stops free throw line extended, finds Butel. Left corner here, a three on the way, and another one. Emma Duncan this time knocks it down on the assist from Butel. Emma's 17th three of the year. Came in 33% from behind the arc, and the threes are raining here in the first quarter. First 90 seconds, as a matter of fact. Skip pass to Reese Humphrey, who looks to drive. Came wide open underneath. Hit the deck and one as Butel got a little contact on the shot inside for Reese Humphrey, who shows you she can do it from the outside and take it off the dribble, too. Anna picks up her first personal, first team foul either side here in the first 93 seconds of the game, and that's going to put Reese Humphrey at the line. Where on the season she is 6th in the SCC at 71%. That one hung up there for a moment but decided to fall for number 31, who's got all 6 points. Here to start the game for the Davis County Mustangs. Back the other way come the Panthers, surveying this zone here for Davis County that they come in. Wells stops at the elbow, back to Butel. She fires a three. That one's just a bit short. Young the rebound, and watch her run. However, Baycorn tried to poke one out from behind. A little pickpocket work there from Baycorn, and she picks up a cheap foul. She didn't like the call. Neither did the home crowd. The first on Baycorn, second team foul on on Knoxville. Here we haven't even played 2 minutes. Law in the right corner finds Humphrey cutting in. Couldn't finish that time at the rack. Baycorn with a strong board underneath. One that Humphrey'd like to have back. She could be sitting there with 8 points here in the first 2 minutes. Instead, we stay tied up at 6. Brittany on the drive baseline, kicks it left side. Here's to Duncan, over to Emma Duncan, but she walked. A little too close in spacing that time. You hear coaches talk about that a lot, spacing, right? And when you have Hannah and Emma Duncan basically attached to the hip there, I know they're sisters and all, and typically you might see them off the court attached to the hip, but that's not what you want basketball spacing-wise here in the half court. 6-all, 5:45 and ticking to go here in the first quarter. We're just underway in Knoxville. Davis County's Reese Humphrey has it in the corner, guarded closely by Wells. Looking for an outlet, finds Young, and we have a 3-second violation on Porter here. Yes, that's the whistle against the Davis County forward, Ella Porter. So Knoxville takes over. Keep up to date on the score and the most up-to-date timing in each quarter at the bottom of your screen with our Sundance Realty scorebug, brought to you by Sundance Realty, located at 112 East Robinson Street here in Knoxville. Give them a call at 641-842-7214. A missed three from Emma Duncan in the corner. An offensive board, though, for Brittany Baycorn. Wells couldn't finish it. Humphrey looking to run. Dribbled it off the foot of Baycorn out of bounds. Good transition defense for Brittany there to stop the ball. Well, Coach Richard talked about it pregame, right? That was a big focus in yesterday's practice after the loss against Clark. Transition defense and defensive rebounding. Here Young threads the needle inside to Porter, who banks it in off the window. Sophia Young, Coach Graves tasks one of his seniors there, Young, to be that baseline out of bounds play trigger person. And more often than not, she really is able to get her teammates some good looks under the hoop in a lot of traffic, a lot of congestion in the lane. Wells puts up a jumper inside the elbow. Can't get it to fall. It's Jaylee Law with her first board. Back the other way to Mustangs. Deep three, Humphrey. Off the mark. A step in. She might have had something. Baycorn's got her third board. Off to Wells. 4.5 to go first quarter. 8-6 Davis County with the early advantage. Wells picks up her dribble. Finds Emma Duncan. Surveying this zone again. Wells back left wing with it as we approach the halfway point of the first quarter. Hannah Duncan back to Emma Duncan, who fires another three and hits another three. Her second of the quarter. All the scoring for Knoxville to this point has been from behind the arc. 2 threes from Emma Duncan and 1 from Larissa Wells. 9-8 as we just passed the halfway point of the opening frame. Young gets inside the arc, skips it to Jaylee Law on the left wing. Quick close out there by Baycorn, and Law, after she got to the elbow, had it taken away by Emma Duncan. Poked it away, more like it. First turnover by Davis County. Hannah Duncan trying to get it inside to Baycorn, and Porter with a little body contact is going to pick up her first personal and the first team foul on Davis County. Couple of changes both sides. Anna Anderson and Natalie Collins coming in for Knoxville with Wells and Butel checking out. Jaylee Law and Lainey Moore also to the sideline for Davis County as we see the uber-talented freshman Kennedy Skaggs as well as junior Charlie Barnhart come into the game. Emma Duncan gets hacked on the inside on that entry pass, and that's going to go against Skaggs, I believe, the freshman. That's been one area as she learns the speed of the game and the physical nature of varsity basketball that she's continuing to work on to improve. This season, averaging close to 4 fouls a game. Duncan's first free throws off the front iron here. Knoxville, best in the conference, 63% as a team from the free throw line. As for Emma in particular, 71%. That's second on the squad and 7th in the SEC. But missed her first look tonight. Second one, it's not going to matter. Kicked off the back iron. We had a lane violation on Anna Anderson, who was chomping at the bit to set up for a potential offensive rebound off a miss. But nothing to show for the trip down that time. It's still 9-8 Panthers. Mustangs back the other way with 3.5 to go first quarter. Young between the circles, gets it inside to 11 Barnhart, works it back out. Humphrey right corner three, rims out. Rebound Skaggs, turn around with the left hand, short, pulled the string on it. There's Porter on another offensive rebound. Her shot didn't go, and it went off a Mustang underneath. So despite 2 offensive rebounds, that trip down, Davis County also with nothing to show for the effort. Out goes Porter, and Caitlin Olinger, a senior for Davis County, we're number 51 here in the road jerseys tonight, checks in. 1-point ball game, 9-8, 3:15 to go first quarter. Natalie Collins reaches up, catches a pass from Baycorn. Quick trigger three from Hannah Duncan that rolls off the backside. Skaggs got the board. As you saw Anna Anderson go flying down, a little contact, no whistle. Young leaves it for Humphrey, corner three, off the front iron. Board for Emma Duncan, she'll run. Emma Duncan ahead to Hannah Duncan left of the lane. Stops, finds Collins trailing. Her three falls. That is how you draw it up in transition, folks. Find that trail shooter. Humphrey with a transition three of her own. That's off the mark. Rebound, though, Barnhart. She forces it up. Too strong. Collins with the rebound. Ahead to Emma Duncan, who will slow it up. Davis County gets back that time in transition. Collins has it here. Skips it left to Emma Duncan. Skip herself to Hannah Duncan, who will try another three. And that one hits the bottom. Sister connection, and Knoxville is on a 9-0 run, having opened up a 7-point advantage, 15-8 with just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. And Young called for an offensive foul. She drove into the double team of Collins and Anderson and drew the personal. Her first, team third. And Knoxville will get it back with just over 2 minutes to go here in our opening stanza. Threes galore. All the scoring for Knoxville have been on three-pointers. All 15 points, 5 threes. Here, Hannah Duncan drives baseline, finds Collins. She's going to try another one. Short, and Skaggs got the rebound. Kennedy Skaggs brings it up with 1:45 to go in the opening quarter. Skaggs left of the lane, forces it up, banked it in somehow. Wow. I was having a conversation the other day with Rich Parker, actually, Centerville Athletic Director, about Kennedy Skaggs in particular. We were talking basketball in the SEC as Collins puts up another three off the top of the backboard. Hannah Duncan got the miss, put it back up, and got fouled. A couple of free throws coming now for the sophomore, which will let me finish the story about Kennedy Skaggs in the conversation. Charlie Barnhart picks up her first personal, fourth team foul. But in talking about Kennedy Skaggs, a freshman who's really impressed this year, she's tied with Reese Humphrey for the team lead in scoring with 9 points a game, and that's now coming off the bench. She started a handful of games this year, 8 of them for Davis County, coming off the bench tonight. Baycorn out for Knoxville. Larissa Wells checks in. And Mr. Parker and I both agree that when that light goes on and she's able to have the game slow down a little bit, she's going to be a scary player in the SEC. It may not be next year as a sophomore, but she's getting some valuable experience here as a freshman. It very well could be. 25 here on the road. She's 24 at home. Is going to be a problem the next few years in the South Central Conference. Her three's off the mark. A rebound still up for grabs. Ends up in the grasp of Hannah Duncan, who went 1 for 2 at the line, of course. Then she threw it away. Intended for her sister, Emma. Clock stops with 62 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Knoxville holding on to a 6-point lead. Nancy Durande liked the transition, chiming in our Cosby's U.S. Cellular comment section here below our video on Go SEC TV. A lot of transition buckets here for Knoxville, which I know it has Coach Richard very excited on the sideline after Clark gave him a little taste of that medicine Friday and that overtime loss. Here, Emma Duncan, gets fouled on the drive. She's got a couple more free throws coming. Jeff Graves didn't quite agree. The official, as he was on his way to report the foul to the scorer's table, notified Coach Graves that Sophia Young used the off arm there defensively to create that contact, thus drawing the whistle as Emma Duncan hits her first free throw of the night after missing her first two a little bit earlier on here this quarter. That's the only second point of the frame here that has not come from behind the arc. The other also from a free throw made by Emma's sister, Hannah. Perfect at the line this time as Emma Duncan gets back to 50% at 2 of 4. She's got 8 first quarter points, and that's the difference on the board. 18-10 Panthers. 40 seconds remain here in our opening 8 minutes. Skaggs skip past to Humphrey. Reese looking to drive, takes it in, lost it on the way up. It ends up with Barnhart, finds Skaggs, blocked by Anderson, but too much contact from Anna. She'll pick up her first personal, and Kennedy Skaggs is going to go to a spot on the floor that she's become a familiar face on the season. 52 free throw attempt. 66 for Kennedy Skaggs. I'm looking at the wrong player here. That's tied for 4th in the South Central Conference as she rolls that one in for her 3rd point. 77% on the year, too. That is 2nd in the South Central Conference behind Tori Henry of Clark. And she's made the 3rd most, too, at 51. Brittany Baycorn's back in to replace Anderson after that foul. Skaggs perfect at the line. Back to a 6-point game at 18-12. Nancy Durande saying she loves those Duncan girls. I know a lot of Knoxville fans do. They'll be sad to see Emma obviously graduate this year, but they'll have Hannah for a couple more years. Shot clock is off. You can see Emma Duncan not having a whole lot of sense of urgency here in the half court. Panthers seem to be holding for the final shot with 10. Collins swings it right to Hannah Duncan. Inside to Baycorn, a double team came. Do we have a kicked ball or a foul here? I think it's just a kicked ball on the Mustang defense. Olinger and Humphrey double team Baycorn on that post entry pass, so something to monitor there defensively. 5 seconds. And a quick entry pass to Emma Duncan. Her shot was off the mark. Skaggs the rebound, and not even close on the over half-court heave from the freshman. First quarter comes to an end. Knoxville, with a big run midway through the frame, has opened up a 6-point advantage for themselves. But still anybody's game here through the opening 8 minutes. We'll be back for the second right after this.